Discovering Georgia, the jewel of the Caucasus. A country of rich history and culture. Nestled in the heart of the Caucasus region, Georgia is a country that captivates visitors with its stunning landscapes, deep history, and vibrant culture. Bordered by Russia to the north and Turkey, Armenia, and Azerbaijan to the south, Georgia offers more than just postcard-worthy views. With a population of about 4 million and an area of 70,000 square kilometers, it's a small nation packed with unique character. Georgia, or Sakartvelo. Understanding the name. Internationally known as Georgia, locals proudly call their country Sakartvelo. Its roots stretch back to ancient kingdoms like Iberia and Caucasus. Despite enduring centuries under foreign rule, Georgians have preserved their distinct identity, especially through their language and unique alphabet, which is unlike any other in the world. Language. Navigating communication. In Tbilisi and other major cities, travelers will notice that most public signage is bilingual, Georgian and English, making short stays easy to manage. However, for long-term visitors, learning basic Georgian or Russian is helpful, as many older residents and taxi drivers may not speak English. A new demographic. The rise of Slavic migrants. Since the Russia-Ukraine war, Georgia has seen an increase in both Russian and Ukrainian migrants, particularly in Tbilisi and Batumi. In some neighborhoods, Slavic languages are more commonly heard than Georgian. This demographic shift has also affected the housing market and public discourse. Georgian versus Slavic features. Slavic migrants often stand out with light features like blonde hair and blue eyes. In contrast, Georgians typically have dark hair, angular facial features, and lighter skin. Many locals also descend from the Laz people, adding to the country's ethnic richness. Political tensions and protests. Political unrest is evident in Tbilisi, especially near Freedom Square, where anti-Russian protests are frequent. Demonstrators wave Ukrainian, Georgian, and EU flags while voicing opposition to Russian aggression. While protests are legal, they are closely monitored by police, creating a tense but controlled atmosphere. Religion and cultural similarities. One reason Slavic migrants often feel at home in Georgia is the shared Orthodox Christian faith. Roughly 87% of the population is ethnically Georgian, but the country is also home to various minorities. This religious and cultural overlap helps create a sense of familiarity for migrants. Population growth and local attitudes. Tbilisi's population has surged to nearly 2 million, driven largely by migration. While some concerns about discrimination persist, most visitors, especially tourists, find Georgians to be warm and welcoming, particularly if they contribute positively to the local economy. Traditional dance. Georgia's cultural showcase. Georgia's national dances are famous for their energy, complexity, and grace. Performances, especially from the Caucasus region, are visually captivating and often take place in theaters or public squares. These dances reflect the country's passion and pride in its heritage. A diverse and changing cityscape. In areas like APC district, you'll see a growing number of visitors and workers from Bangladesh, India, and the Philippines. Some are tourists, while others have come in search of jobs. This diverse influx is reshaping the cultural fabric of the city. Currency and cost of living. Georgia's currency, the lari, GEL, is favorable for visitors. €1 equals about 3 GEL. The average salary ranges between 2,000 to 3,000 GEL, 800 to 900 euros, but the cost of living remains low due to the country's strong agriculture and low food prices. Cars, taxis, and transportation. German cars like Mercedes-Benz and Japanese brands like Toyota and Lexus are popular. Georgia allows both left-hand and right-hand drive vehicles. Taxis, often white and meterless, typically charge 20 GEL, 6 euros, for city rides and 40 GEL, 15 euros, to the airport. Agree on a price before you get in. Stray dogs, a common sight. Tbilisi has around 80,000 stray dogs, most of which are harmless. They roam freely, and while not dangerous, it's wise to remain aware of your surroundings when walking through city neighborhoods. Tourism, gambling, and economic boost. Tourism and gambling are key parts of Georgia's economy. With low taxes on gambling, 10 to 15%, the country attracts many international players. Casinos, tour operators, and street performers all benefit from the growing tourist trade. Iconic architecture, the Peace Bridge and more. The modern Peace Bridge, a glass structure over the Kara River, is one of Tbilisi's most photographed landmarks. Nearby, you'll find souvenir stands, boat tours, 25 GEL for 30 minutes, and cable cars for panoramic views, just €1 per ride. For an even better view, hot air balloon rides are available for about €20 per person. Exploring the city, walking and public transit. Tbilisi's Old Town Square is a great starting point for tours. Double-decker buses and open-sided cars offer a scenic way to discover the city. Don't miss the whimsical clock tower near the Puppet Theater, where a tiny angel rings a bell every hour, a delightful moment for visitors. Street art and performances. Tbilisi thrives on artistic expression, and nowhere is this more visible than in its vibrant street performances. As you stroll through the city, especially around tourist-heavy spots like Old Town and Rustaveli Avenue, you'll often come across solo musicians playing traditional Georgian instruments, jazz trios adding ambience to a quiet square, or opera singers filling the air with dramatic arias. Traditional dancers sometimes put on impromptu shows in public spaces, performing intricate routines in colorful costumes that captivate both locals and tourists. What makes these moments special is their authenticity. There's little commercialization. These performers don't aggressively ask for money. Instead, they focus on sharing their craft, which adds an organic charm to Tbilisi's public life. It's an unfiltered window into the city's soul, where culture is lived and performed freely. Freedom Square and Fabrika, a tale of two spots. At the heart of Tbilisi lies Freedom Square, a grand space marked by imposing buildings and a golden statue of St. George slaying a dragon. The square has seen numerous political movements, rallies, and celebrations, making it both a historical landmark and a symbol of Georgian resilience. With wide boulevards and ornate architecture dating back to imperial and Soviet eras, it showcases the city's complex past. Just a 15-minute walk away is Fabrika, a completely different vibe. What was once a Soviet sewing factory has been transformed into a creative oasis. The building now houses boutique shops, shared workspaces, rooftop bars, and a popular hostel. Murals adorn the walls, and the courtyard buzzes with artists, backpackers, students, and freelancers. It's a cultural melting pot where conversations in 5 languages might happen at once. Fabrika is not just a hangout spot, it's a symbol of Tbilisi's emerging youth culture and entrepreneurial spirit. Nightlife, music, drinks, and energy. When the sun sets, Tbilisi transforms. The energy picks up in the narrow alleyways and open plazas of Old Town, where music spills from the windows of lively pubs and wine bars. The city's nightlife scene offers something for everyone, from quiet, candlelit jazz lounges to pulsing nightclubs with international DJs. Tbilisi is especially famous for its electronic music scene. Venues like Bashiani, located in the basement of a soccer stadium, have gained global recognition. The underground scene is politically conscious and inclusive, welcoming people from all walks of life, including the LGBTQ+ community. On any given night, you might find art students, expats, and locals dancing together till sunrise. Unlike many other European cities, nightlife in Tbilisi doesn't begin until after 10 p.m. and often stretches into the early morning hours. Whether you're in it for the wine, the music, or the vibe, the city offers unforgettable nights. Urban planning and underground crossings. One of Tbilisi's smart urban planning features is its use of underground pedestrian crossings instead of elevated bridges. These underpasses are designed to keep the city's visual appeal intact while ensuring pedestrian safety on busy roads. Many of them are decorated with murals, graffiti art, or mosaics, making even a short walk visually engaging. This underground network helps maintain the city's flow, especially in crowded areas like Rustaveli Avenue or near the train station. Moreover, sidewalks and roads are often designed to avoid blocking access to building entrances, preserving the symmetry and accessibility of urban spaces. It's a clever mix of function and form, a city that considers both practical needs and aesthetic appeal. In a world where many cities are overrun with overpasses and cluttered infrastructure, Tbilisi stands out for its thoughtful, artful approach to city planning. Markets and daily life. To experience the pulse of everyday life in Tbilisi, head to one of its bustling public markets. The largest ones, such as the Deserters Bazaar in eastern Tbilisi, offer everything from seasonal fruits and vegetables to electronics, handmade crafts, and second-hand tools. The market isn't just a place to shop, it's a cultural experience. You'll find elderly women selling homemade cheese and churchkila, a traditional Georgian candy made of nuts and grape juice, as well as men hawking spare car parts. The air is filled with a mix of aromas: fresh herbs, baked bread, smoked meats, and diesel fumes from delivery vans. Many vendors are well into their 50s or 60s, working long hours out of financial necessity. These markets lack the polished aesthetics of modern shopping centers, but they're rich in character and authenticity. Bargaining is expected, and a few words in Georgian can go a long way in getting a good deal. Rent and real estate. Tbilisi's real estate market has changed dramatically in recent years. With the influx of foreign migrants, especially from Russia and Ukraine, rents have soared. Apartments that once cost $300–400 a month are now averaging around $700, and sometimes even more in high-demand areas like Vake and Suburtalo. Short-term rental platforms like Airbnb have also contributed to the price spike, with many landlords converting long-term housing into vacation rentals. While this has been great for property owners and investors, it has created challenges for locals, particularly young people and low-income families. Despite the price increases, Tbilisi still remains relatively affordable compared to Western European capitals. The market continues to attract digital nomads and remote workers, many of whom appreciate the city's charm, affordability, and fast internet. However, the question of housing accessibility for locals remains a topic of public concern. Beauty standards and social bias. In Georgia, beauty standards are visibly influenced by European ideals. Russian and Ukrainian migrants, especially women, often receive attention for their fair skin, light hair, and tall stature, even when dressed casually. This perception of beauty sometimes results in social advantages, whether it's friendlier service in restaurants or quicker responses from landlords. On the flip side, residents and visitors from South Asian and African countries may face cultural misunderstandings and, in some cases, discrimination. Biases can surface in rental negotiations, job opportunities, or even in casual street interactions. While Georgia is generally hospitable and many people are open-minded, particularly in urban areas, these social dynamics are important for visitors to be aware of. Understanding and respecting the local context, while also being sensitive to how appearance and nationality can affect one's experience, is crucial for anyone planning a long-term stay. Cars and fuel. Georgia's car culture is diverse and functional. Many vehicles on the road are imported second-hand models from Europe, Japan, and the US, making it possible to find quality cars at relatively low prices. A brand new luxury vehicle can cost as little as $20,000, significantly less than in many neighboring countries. An interesting feature of Georgia's automotive scene is the widespread use of natural gas as a vehicle fuel. Many cars are retrofitted with gas tanks, making them more economical and environmentally friendly. Gas stations that offer both gasoline and natural gas are common, and the price per liter is considerably lower than in most of Europe. This combination of affordability, accessibility, and eco-consciousness has made car ownership more attainable, even for middle-income residents. However, the variety of both left-hand and right-hand drive vehicles can be confusing for new drivers. Driving and law enforcement. Driving in Tbilisi is not for the faint of heart. Traffic can be erratic, with drivers frequently switching lanes, ignoring crosswalks, and using horns liberally. While the city has a significant police presence, enforcement is often limited to parking violations and major infractions. That said, Georgia has made efforts to modernize its traffic laws, and there are speed cameras and parking sensors installed in key locations. Fines are issued via text message or email, making the system more efficient. However, some rules, like yielding to pedestrians or using turn signals, are still widely neglected. Foreign drivers should exercise caution, especially in the busy city center and during peak hours. Road signs are usually bilingual, but defensive driving is a must. If you plan on renting a car, consider opting for insurance that covers minor scrapes and dings. It's better to be safe than sorry. Clean streets and colorful parks. One of the pleasant surprises in Tbilisi is its overall cleanliness. Despite the city's chaotic traffic and bustling markets, the streets are generally well maintained. Garbage collection is efficient in most districts, and city workers regularly clean public areas. Green spaces are also an important part of the urban landscape. Parks like Reich Park and Vake Park are beautifully landscaped with walking paths, flower beds, fountains, and children's play areas. Conclusion: a destination like no other. Tbilisi is a city of contrasts, ancient yet modern, relaxed yet dynamic. Whether you're admiring traditional dances, riding a cable car above the city, or exploring a mural-lined tunnel, Georgia offers something magical for every traveler. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.